Roger has his violin recital right after it.
Someday that ourselves we forget our way to test. We're gonna get started in a minute. Test. Test. How are we sounding? Can you hear me through here? Can you hear me through that? It's probably the music. What's up, Newman? Doing great. What?
Does tons of communication.
Test.
You need anything?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey.
It's going to be touch base with Charlie.
Yeah. Want to, I saw that they launched that new Didier cigar.
Yeah.
So, it's like, made me think of.
Perfect.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about starting a new Substack because of, the old one I stopped doing.
Yeah.
Like about just kind of like cool stuff in the world that happens to be Jewish.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So see if I can write a piece about Didier cigars, Daniel Cremieux, the French brand, clothing brand.
What's his name, Daniel?
Cremieux. So he actually died last year, but his son Stefan has been running it for several years now. And when I was in Paris a few years ago, we went into the Jewish Museum and there was a painting that said Cremieux on it. So he and I are connected, Stefan and I, and we've met before. And I sent him a text. I said, "Your family?" He goes, "Actually, yes." So I'm wondering, maybe they're Jewish. There's no information online about them being Jewish, but that's something I can write about. What's up? We're starting.
If we're not done in
I'll
20
read
minutes,
it for you.
I have it.
I got it. I got it.
I'm sorry.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. All right, let's get rolling. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We're gonna get rolling. All right. Whoop. We're going to get rolling. All right, there we go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody on Zoom. Thanks so much for joining us this morning for our annual meeting. It's good to see so many of you here. This is the first one of these I'm running, so appreciate your patience and appreciate everybody being here. So before we get started, kind of on the business at hand, I just kind of wanted to go through a little 2025, 2026, a year in review. What's happened since we were all met last year? And it's been a lot, I gotta say. And it's starting with a balanced budget. We are very excited about this. Very excited about this. This does not happen every year. Currently, we had $45,821 budgeted net income for this past year. And next year, it is going to go up. And this will be explained in a little bit when we talk about the Hineni campaign and what the Hineni campaign is for. But we are very excited about where we came in this year, and we are excited about what we are going to do for the next year, which we will get into momentarily. So, just a little recap. New beginnings. This year, we had not one, not two, but 3 conversions. Not yet. So I only had 2 pictures from the conversions. So we welcome the Brecklin family into the fold most recently. Alexi converted a few months ago, and also Riley Kinney, who's not here, but hey, We welcome. We also had several baby namings, including our own Andrea's daughter, Maddie. And we also had a wedding, Todd and Linda. Again, I only had so many photos, so I apologize for leaving a few out. Some new and old traditions. So every year we do Shabbat in the Park. It's one of my favorite Shabbats at the end of the summer. And it was a great turnout this year, but we've also started more outdoor activities right outside here. This fall, Grant hosted a sing-along outside of our sukkah that was very well attended. Some additional outdoor activities. One of our bar bat mitzvah projects for Nina Kelly was planting daffodils right outside, right over there, which several of our families participated in, including my own. We did some fundraisers. This is a photo from the one we did for Tassel at the Iron City Distillery, courtesy of Mr. Arnie Begler, sitting right there in the middle. And Purim Royale. So typically around the springtime, we've done a fundraiser with Night at the Races. This year, we decided to do something a little different and host a Purim party, and I think it was a wild success. We raised a little bit of money, but for the most part, everybody just had a really fantastic time. And of course, our Purim Spiel and Carnival, which was, again, a wild success. So many of you are familiar with the Rabbi and Friends program. There's our speaker series, which we expanded this year, and we will continue, due to its success, into next year, starting, I believe, at the high holidays. So what comes next? Well, I told you we've got a big year coming up. Everyone knows these guys, right? So I'm pleased to announce that our very own Rabbi Aaron Bisno has agreed to a contract extension for the next 3 years. Rabbi, would you like to come up and say a few words?
Thought you wouldn't even ask.
Oh, I had to ask. Excuse me.
So thank you. Good morning and thank you. 27 months ago,
Thank you.
when I first began making the daily trip to the North Hills, I could not have imagined how much I would have come to appreciate and truly enjoy this chapter we have embarked upon. At that time in 2024, our respective histories were well established. Temple Ohav Shalom had been part of the Pittsburgh Jewish firmament for nearly 6 decades, establishing and sustaining Jewish life in Pittsburgh's northern suburbs. And I came to you having served Pittsburgh's Jewish community as a rabbi for more than 2 of those decades. But while our paths were certain, our next steps were not. We were emerging from a pandemic and a period of real disruption. Truisms upon which we had long relied had been overturned, and trust in some places had been tested. From different vantage points, we were asking many of the same questions. Who are we now? Where are we headed? And what comes next? How fortunate I feel to have found in Ohav Shalom a community committed to a proud and joyful expression of Judaism, a membership and leadership determined to strengthen this congregation as a center of Jewish life, and a staff dedicated to providing the very best Jewish experiences we can together fashion. And what we have accomplished over these 2+ years is not insignificant. We have celebrated Jewish life, holidays, and life cycle moments. We have learned and grown together. We have shared simchas as well as sorrows. We have strengthened relationships and rebuilt a culture of respect and trust. And we have begun to articulate a shared vision for what Jewish life in this community can and must be going forward. Even in these, some of the most challenging years in recent Jewish memory, Temple Ohav Shalom has remained a beacon for individuals and families seeking connection and meaning and the opportunity to be part of something larger than ourselves, something that will endure beyond any one of us. I'm deeply grateful to be your partner in this work. I'm equally grateful to the many people who have made it possible. To the members of the search committee who first extended themselves to me, you know who you are. I thank you for your confidence in inviting me here. You were there for me and this temple when it mattered most. And you were and are not alone. So many good and dedicated people comprise our membership in the ranks of our leadership. To our past and current board members, and particularly the committee chairs with whom I've worked closely these last 2 years, I thank you for your steady and thoughtful leadership in what are, without question, complex and demanding times. To our founding families and longstanding members, the living link between what has been built and what will yet be, I thank you for your enduring commitment. To our members at large, all of you, those who have long called TOS your home, and those who have returned, as well as those who have joined us more recently, and those who are in these most recent months new to the Jewish people, thank you for your trust and your place within this community. And to our staff, Jackie and Andrea and Grant, how fortunate we are and how grateful I am to serve alongside you. Let me say this plainly, these are not easy times to be Jewish. They are not easy times to be in the synagogue business. There is, after all, no business like shul business. And yet, you like that? And yet through it all, this community shows up with commitment, with seriousness, with care for one another, which brings us to our future. I'm grateful, truly grateful, for the opportunity to continue serving as your rabbi in the years ahead. And I do so because I believe in this congregation, in our shared capacity to shape the future of Jewish life in Pittsburgh's northern suburbs. Everything is in place for us not only to build upon the past 60 years, but to achieve even greater significance and service in the years to come. But that future will not build itself, and so we will have opportunities to hear this morning and days to come how we can all be part of that success. And so for now, I thank you for your trust and for your partnership and for the privilege you have afforded me in sharing in this sacred work that we engage in together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Rabbi. Appreciate that. Just real quick, to everybody who is watching on Zoom, I apologize if this is a little hard to see. We are having a couple little technical difficulties. So, if anybody wants to see this after the fact, I am happy to email the presentation out. And to everybody in the room, I apologize. I did not introduce myself when I first stood up here. If you do not know me, my name is Sam Jacobs. I'm the current temple president. Nice to see you all. We are a little pressed for time, so we are going to move on. So I invite up Lauren Goldman, our VP of Sustainability and Giving. Lauren is in a bit of a rush, has to take one of her sons to a game.
Family, no.
But anyway, she is going to explain what I mentioned before, which is the Hineni campaign. Go ahead.
That is. Hi, everyone. I'm stealing the rabbi's stand. It's a good idea. Good morning. Sorry. Thank you, Sam, for rearranging a little bit. I have to run at 10 o'clock, but appreciate all of you being here this morning. So thank you very much. As you see up here, I'm going to talk about our new Hineni campaign. I really want to introduce something that's both deeply meaningful, but also absolutely essential to our future here at Temple Ohav Shalom, and that is this Hineni campaign. Hineni means here I am. It's a powerful response in our tradition, a movement when we step forward, take responsibility, and show up for something greater than ourselves. Our synagogue is more than just a building. It's where we celebrate, as we saw earlier, where we learn, where we mourn, and grow together. It's our spiritual home. It's made possible every single day by our staff, by Rabbi Bisno, Jackie Grant, Andrea, our educators, and our volunteers. I really want to make sure that drives home because they are so key and important to how Temple Ohav Shalom functions. By sustaining this home, right? It doesn't happen by accident. It really requires intention, and it requires commitment, and it requires all of us. So thank you for being present. Thank you for joining in on Zoom as well, but it really requires all of us. So that's why beginning this upcoming year, we're really going to be kicking off and officially launching this Hineni campaign. It's a bold effort to raise $1 million over the next 5 years. Something that I absolutely think is achievable for our community to do, to really sustain and continue this tradition of Here I Am. This campaign's really rooted in our core Jewish values with Kavod Habriot, honoring the people who serve our community. Lador Vador, ensuring our synagogue thrives for future generations. And Tzedakah, our shared responsibility to sustain what sustains us. Hineni is about stability. It's about dignity. It's about investing in the people and the programs that make our community so special, like what Sam was saying earlier, and the rabbi with, we've been here for a long time. Let's continue that. Let's make sure everyone knows that we're here. But most importantly, it's about participation. And it's not about equal gifts. It's about what you are comfortable doing, but it is about equal commitment. Every one of us in our own way saying, Hineni, here I am. So together, our goal is to secure our present, God bless you, our present, strengthen our future, and ensure that this sacred community continues to thrive for generations to come with this campaign. So thank you. Yeah. And then just because I'm on a time crunch, I'm cutting ahead a little bit, but Sam will come back to this piece. I just wanted to make it known with a couple committees that we have available with the Sustaining and Giving, with the fundraising piece here at Temple Ohav Shalom. Like I mentioned, Hineni is not just about a campaign, but it's a commitment, and it only works if we build it together. So if you're inspired about what you heard, which I hope you are, Greta, who Sam will get to later, and I will be on all these committees with you as well. There are a couple meaningful ways to get involved. One is with our Hineni campaign committee. This group will guide this effort and shape our outreach so we can ensure that we reach our goal over the next 5 years. So if you're interested in that, we have sign-up sheets at the table here in front. So if you forget everything I said, just come to the table later. You'll find the right sheet to sign up for. The second one is just the Giving Sustainability Committee. So this group really plays a critical role in securing long-term financial health for our congregation, which includes fundraising, endowment growth, planned giving, and community engagement. With that, it's key initiatives like our High Holiday Appeal, End of Year Ask, also the Spring Gala, which is like its own subcommittee, for the Purim Royale that I think a lot of you are at. So thank you for attending. If you didn't attend, don't worry. There's going to be another big party celebration coming up this next year. That has its own separate committee, which the sign up is also on this front table. So if you're interested, sign up here, find me later. Email addresses are on there if you have any questions. It's your opportunity to say, Hineni, here I am, not just in words, but in action too. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Lauren. All right, now get out of here. All right. Thank you, Lauren. Moving right along. I'd like to invite up Aaron Browser, our immediate past president, to talk about the board, current members who will be exiting the board, those of us who will be remaining in our positions, and those who will be incoming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm Aaron Browser, past president. Really excited about what we have going on with the board. I just want to say I've been on the board, I think now maybe 8 or 9 years, somewhere in there. And this board has really impressed me this past year. We've had a pretty influx of new ideas and new people, which I think is exciting for the temple and is reflective of ultimately what has happened. So thank you. And specifically, I want to thank Cindy Harrison. Is Cindy here? Oh, geez, she's right there. So those that don't know Cindy, how many years have you been on the board? 14 years. So she's going on to better endeavors with her family. And this past 4 years has been treasurer, 3, 4, somewhere in there. So that is by far the worst job on the board. If anybody knows, she's already committed. So, and I say that just not because of it is every committee has to report into that and go into the budget. So right now is the time that the budget has to be put together. So that's the most difficult, I think, part of the board. But she's done a wonderful job. So just a round of applause for Cindy. Thank you. And Noble Newman, where's Noble? He's here. There he is. It's like, I feel like I'm playing Price or Right. Come on down. So Noble was VP of Communication, and this is another important job as far as keeping the minutes and communication both internally and externally, but has decided to move into the endowment committee and chair that. And this is something we'll be talking about, like the Hineni campaign, which is all about operations and thriving. Endowment's a little bit different. It's something that is for the future. So a lot of estate planning, those type of things, life and legacy kind of now folds into that concept where we're only allowed to take so much funds out of that a year, but it's about building a bigger endowment to make us sustainable in the future. And then finally, Elizabeth Kozloff, who's right over there. So she was a member at large and has some other priorities coming up here this coming year. So we're thankful that she joined and has decided to kind of step away, focus on the family, and then we'll come back to there. So that gives us some opportunity. So now the excitement of new and notable. So Lauren is going to step in as treasurer. So thank you for doing that. She moves in from sustainability, and Greta Goldberg, who's going to step into the sustainability. And I think this is really exciting because, there's more consistency there with Lauren being still in there. And then Michael Becklin, sorry. Oh, he's right there. Is going to step in and focus in on the VP of Communications, and Noble's already started to transition that. So. And then we have one member at large, Liz Hatfield, right there. And we still have one member at large available. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll go back to that. We have 3 people that are returning for the long-standing commitment to the board: Brian Klein, Julie Cohen, and Jane Siegel. And these are, I say that the treasurer is the hardest job, but I think maybe VP of Operations is up there, because if anyone leaves a door open in the middle of the night, or if there's anything, he gets phone calls, alerts, all those different things. And then we still have a member at large. There's a couple people I'm talking to. This board comes on slate in June, so we still have some time. But the idea here is the member at large is really, it's an opportunity to get exposure to the board. It's a 1-year commitment, and it allows us to identify places where people can go forward. So I think that's if anyone's interested, please approach me afterwards and we can discuss. Yeah. Yeah. So the just as far as commitments to the board, and this is something that maybe people don't see. We do ask all board members to basically be at services 1 time a quarter at least, and sometimes it's more or less depending on your commitment. And that really acts as someone that's here, both to greet our community, but also for security purposes. And then a member at large, we really want people that will be thinking about, hey, maybe I want to be another position on the board or part of leading a committee like the Purim Rael or something like that. Yes. Okay, well, do you want to get them to, maybe they could stand up and say hello? Okay. Okay, Greta, what's it? Yeah, Greta, do you want to just say hello? Okay, yeah, you don't need to use them. And Michael? Liz, you don't have to stand up if you don't want. Oh, no, that's just the wrong list. Oh, I'm going the wrong way.
And then
What?
continuing roles.
Yeah, so these are roles that, so the way that we do the board, by the way, is we, every 2 years, it's a 2-year commitment outside the member at large. So we alternate the years that people come off the board. So these are the existing board members that are around. And I think everyone's going to speak, or at least you're going to introduce. Yeah, okay, so I don't need to do that. So these people will be coming off next year. So as we're looking to fulfill, some people will decide to stay and so forth. So, and that's it.
So again, thank Aaron. Sorry, mute this. So again, as Aaron mentioned, with all these positions come committees. We have sign-up sheets right here. By the way, if you know, you know. Thank you. Okay, thank you, 2 of you. That's Jefferson Airplane from the cover of their record, volunteers. Never mind. But if anyone's interested in volunteering for a committee, the sign-up sheets are here. But of course, if there's events going on, there might be additional help needed. Really, as I mentioned when I spoke at Rosh Hashanah, we're one community. We are all here for the betterment of our community, and without everybody's help, it makes it harder to do things. So, anytime you want to help, you can help whether it's with an event, etc. We welcome it. So, I'd like to welcome Audrey Kitzes, our current EVP of Membership. Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you, Sam. This will be fast. I don't really have, we have to switch. I made a slide though. Oh, did it? Okay, got me. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Audrey, if you don't know me. I just wanted to do a quick snapshot. We've had a great year, a wonderful year for membership, a lot of engagement with member families, a lot of activities. In terms of numbers, we're at 141 members and growing. I think we're inching up. Cindy, tell me if I'm right, to 150 was pre-pandemic level. So that's where we want to be. Not that we're out recruiting, but if we want people to join and engage. Membership is an incredibly, kind of skipping down here, paying your dues. We all have to do it to be part of this community. It's our number one and most reliable source of operating income. That's how we keep the lights on. That's how we keep sustaining what we do, is what we pay. And I just want to happily report about 20% of our community, our membership, have chosen and are able to be sustaining members. If you can do that with your family, I know it's a little hard in these economic times, please consider doing that. It's been really, really helpful to get us to where we are in the budget, and it's supporting the greater good. And I'm really, really proud of that. And that's it. Just continue to participate. Always reach out to me if you have any questions about membership. And thank you for a great year.
Thanks, Audrey.
Okay.
Moving right along. So I'm inviting one of our board members up to speak if they have something to say. If not, I'll just introduce them and say hello. But please welcome Jane Siegel, our VP of Spiritual Enrichment.
Hi. A lot of times people don't know what spiritual enrichment does. So basically, we're responsible for the sanctuary. So it's been kind of an exciting year, as you know, that we were honored to have donations to have new high holiday Torah covers, which were made by Andrea Conlon this year. And right now we're redoing the inside of the entire ark, which Andrea is doing new curtains. We're doing new backdrops. We're going to have a curtain rod that actually will sustain the curtains. That was a problem before. We've had a lot of volunteers working on this. So by the high holidays, we should be totally operational. We've had 2 out of our 4 towers actually koshered. We also take ideas. If people don't like our services, please feel free to email me. We need younger members on our committee because it's the younger people who say, we don't like how services are now. We have older people say we want more traditional. So I work with the rabbi, I work with Grant, and we try to keep things flowing the way people want. So we try to keep our services enriched. So we are open for any ideas. So please join the committee and please work along with us so that Ohav is a welcoming place for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. I'd like to invite up Brian Klein, our VP of Operations, to talk a little bit about the building and grounds and security. Brian?
Good morning, everyone. So in regard to security and operations, so operations from the standpoint is you can basically take your house and times it by 10, okay? So that's what I have to deal with, what Jackie helps me deal with, okay? So anything from the HVAC units on the roof to the parking lot to the grounds to lighting, whatever, okay? So it's an undertaking, but we do the best we can, you know. What probably most people are concerned with is security. So my background is basically in security, so I do have an understanding. We have 24/7 surveillance on the temple. There's 20 cameras throughout the building and outside. It records continuously. We have an alarm system, of course. We're going to upgrade that through Audrey and Jackie, the Federation, and also through the Federation. The state just provided us with a grant for $25,000 to upgrade our camera system and alarm system. So we will be implementing that. We do have funding for bigger events. We have McCandless Police here for different events, and of course for the high holidays. I don't know. Any questions, concerns that people have that I can ask?
What is the ongoing plan for police presence at events, services, major events?
Right. So we do have a budget for that. So on a case-by-case basis, depending upon the event, we will have a police presence here.
I work for Federation, so maybe we can talk about, I don't know, possibilities for that. I do a lot with Sean Broncos.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Thanks,
Thank
Emma. Okay.
Good.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. All right. I'd like to invite up Andrea Guthrie, our Director of TOSL, as well as Aaron Burton, our VP of Early Learning, to just give everybody a little update on our preschool. Microphone. Thank you.
So if you're not aware, I'm Aaron, that's Andrea. We got a couple notes here. So our program this year is flourishing as it always has. I highly encourage all of you to take a few moments, take a step upstairs and look at the classrooms and just see what our children have been working on. They're absolutely phenomenal spaces, and I think you will be inspired to get involved if you just take a quick peek. So our program has been flourishing much because of the efforts of Andrea. She has been doing a phenomenal job. We're in the, yeah, let's little clap. The last couple of years have been have had a slight dip in enrollment, and because of her efforts, she's been able to significantly reduce the amount of spend so that we're reducing the amount of deficit that we're incurring year over year. So that is a phenomenal job. Thank you very much for that. So as I mentioned, one of the areas that we're struggling, and this is not unique to our school, this is shared by all schools for early learning, is in enrollment, and that's really where we need your help. One of the continued themes we've had in our conversations is how do we get better exposure for Tossel without making us feel exposed? That makes a lot of sense given the current events that I don't have to go into in detail, but really the best way to do that is through word of mouth. And I want to remind everyone that Tossel is not explicitly for Jewish students. It is Jewish values, and we try to continue to emphasize Jewish values, but about 50% of our student body is outside the Jewish community. So anyone you know who may be interested in sending their child to Tossel, please do that. If there's a way that you want to get involved but don't know how, please come talk to either of us and we'd be happy to work with you. That's what I had to, Andrew.
Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. Okay, so I don't know, did the slideshow play earlier? And okay, well, if you didn't get to see all of the pictures on here, just know, yes, there's some amazing pictures, not just from Tossel, but also some of these pictures are from Shalom Tots and of the religious school activities that we've been doing. And there's some amazing pictures here, but just know that that's just a sneak peek into all of the things that we've been doing this year. We have had so much fun with the preschool and with the joyous Shalom Tots events. It is just so much fun. Celebrating Shabbat with those guys and all the different holidays, and the same thing with the religious school. We've been having a great time this year, but we'll get to religious school in just a moment. For the preschool, it was interesting in the car the other day. I actually heard for the first time ever in like my mind, I listen to the radio still, and I still also have a CD player, so just keep that in mind. But I heard an advertisement for a preschool, for a tender learning care center, and I was just in shock because I could never remember hearing an advertisement on the radio for a preschool. And in discussions with the other Jewish preschools that are not right in the core center of like Squirrel Hill area, or just really any learning program, whether they're full day or part-time like we are, they're all actually having a hard time with enrollment. So it's sad, but that gave me a little bit of faith to know that we're not the only ones that are in this boat. And yet, when we combined actually our 2 and 3-year-olds classroom for this year, and we started out having some room in the class every day of the week. And at this point, we only have a few spaces open on Friday. The rest of the days are full. So we were actually able to grow our enrollment during the school year, which was really amazing. Yay! And I actually even had a tour this past Friday and brought in a potential 2-year-old to be friends with my child. So that was exciting. But yeah, no, we're working hard to spread the word about our preschool. But what Aaron said, it's actually in terms of studies of marketing for early learning centers, the best way to recruit new families is by word of mouth. So please, if you know anybody that's just planning on staying home with their child, maybe they have a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, or 4-year-old, please have them reach out to me and come check out our school, because once people come into this building and see our amazing spaces or watch the activities that our teachers are doing with these kids, they fall in love. It's immediate. So just thank you. That's all. Okay. I know. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you, Andrea. Don't go
Yeah.
anywhere. I'd like to invite up Tracy Ryan, or you don't have to come up at all. What? Nah,
It's
that's
up
all
to
right.
you. No, it's okay.
Just want to give us a little update on what's happening with the religious
Sure.
and Hebrew schools. Thanks, Andrea.
Yeah. So hopefully you all know our religious school program starts in kindergarten and goes through the 10th grade. In terms of our Tuesday evening Hebrew school, that is for students in 3rd grade through 6th grade, and that is a separate evening. We have about 22 kids that come currently on Tuesday evenings. And I say that in quotation marks because on any given night, there's 10 to 15 kids that are here, which we'll get to in a moment. And then there's another 12 of them that are doing individual private Hebrew tutoring. And that is okay. Some of them are for a variety of reasons, actually including some health reasons and for some learning reasons. We've had a really fantastic year, though, and I want to thank the women of Ohav Shalom who have been helping our students with some amazing cooking of Jewish foods. There was actually a Sunday where they got to make kugel, and it tasted delicious. So thank you. It really was a great time. Just in terms of our plans for next year, we will still be having our Sunday religious school for those same age groups. However, we will not be meeting anymore on Tuesday evenings in person. What we're going to be doing is taking that curriculum of Hebrew for kids in grades 3 through 6, and it's going to be incorporated into their Sunday curriculum. And then in the middle of the week, they're going to be having an individual, either in person or virtual, one-on-one tutoring session. We are finding it has been a great challenge both on Sundays and Tuesdays to meet the needs, which are just a wide range of needs for all of our students for their learning. We are, I've been, really working hard with all of my teachers to think outside of the box in ways to help all of our students be able to learn and to participate in all of the different activities. And in terms of Hebrew specifically, moving forward, this I think is going to be the best solution for all of our students. So please understand it's not that we're getting rid of Hebrew school. They're still going to have that Hebrew learning. And also, just as a note, they actually start Hebrew. They're being exposed to Hebrew starting in kindergarten. So if you know Sarah DeVos, who's been teaching our kindergarten and first grade class for years and years, she actually started incorporating the Aleph Bet actually even last year. So now for the 3rd grade through 6th grade, there's going to just be an even more formal Hebrew learning component included in their learning on Sundays. Okay.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Yes.
Are you going to send out or have another meeting that's more in depth to hear a little bit more about what that actually looks like? And
Yeah.
Incorporating it on Sundays and just what time-wise, because I know there's lots of events and activities that happen on Sundays. And want to make sure that there's enough space for the Hebrew.
Oh, absolutely. Yes,
can
we
you-
are going to be changing, especially for those grades, what their Sundays are going to look like to make sure that there is enough time for the Hebrew learning. Yeah. And they will still also have their amazing tefillah time, which is normally in the sanctuary. And it's led by Grant and Rabbi Bisno and myself. And it's kind of a combination of Friday evening worship and Saturday morning worship and just some fun learning songs. So, yeah.
Thanks, Andrea.
Cool. Yes,
Yeah.
another question.
Will the Hebrew school component extend the length of?
It will not. It will still be the same time.
Question was for people on YouTube. I don't know if we're missing some of the questions. The question was, will it extend the length of the Sunday session? And the answer was no. Thanks, Andrea.
Yeah. I did notice there also, I don't think we had Shalom Tots in here.
No, and I apologize for
No,
that.
that's okay. I just didn't think about it because there were
Yeah.
pictures in
Yeah,
there.
but
Of
if
the
you want to
Shalom
talk
Tots.
about it real quick,
Is that okay? I will
Please.
try not to talk too long about it.
That's okay. We love
But
Shalom Tots.
we've had an amazing year with Shalom Tots. My co-director, Oreen Cohen, she is a tassel parent. She's also first generation American. She's Moroccan Israeli. So she brings all sorts of ideas and new recipes and a different way of thinking to our programs. She's also an artist. So a lot of our programs have been incorporating arts. We did a honey tasting for Rosh Hashanah back in the fall. We had an amazing Sukkot program back here with boxes. And it's just been a blast getting to do these programs with her. We had an entire table full of colorful hummus, I think, last week. And the kids and the adults were thoroughly enjoying themselves trying all the different hummus and mashing the hummus. So if you have any, children ages 0 to 5 or grandchildren, or know of anybody that is not yet affiliated but is maybe looking to start exposing their children to Jewish programs, please send them our way. We would love to get them involved. I think that's it.
Thanks, Andrea. Oh, question?
Yeah.
I just want to thank Andrea.
Yeah.
Everybody can tell she wears 52 hats here, maybe even more. And she doesn't always get the credit that she deserves, but you do. I just want to say that.
Thanks, Andrea. And I want to extend that thanks to all of our Tassel teachers, religious school teachers, and Hebrew school teachers. There are too many to name, and we're running out of time, but they are a huge part of this as well, and huge round of applause for them. Real quick, I'd like to invite up Lindsay Brunswick to just give us a brief update on our youth program. Lindsay?
Hi, everyone. I'll be super quick. So we had a great year. We learned some lessons, and we tried some new things, and we kept around some of our programs that we've always had, like the Perm Carnival. Of course, we will do the Perm Carnival again next year. So if you are interested in joining us, we would love to have some parents help out, join our committee. You can come sign up. You can contact me. Next year, we are working on repeating some of our really successful programs from last year. We're hoping to visit FIPS again. That was a lot of fun if you attended. If you didn't, we hope to see you. And we're working on some new things. We're going to have some family game nights. We're going to visit some new places around the city. So we hope to see you as things get added to the calendar. Grant will send out his invites, and we hope to see you all there with your families.
Thank you. Before we get to Q&A, our men's club president, Seth Ringgold, is here. He was going to have to leave early to take his son to a flag football match, but he is still here and wants to say a couple things. Seth, why don't you come on up? There you go.
Thanks, Sam. So hi, everybody. I'm Seth Ringgold. I have had the pleasure for 2 years now, functionally 1.5, because I had knee surgery and I just dropped off the face of the earth for a while last year. But this year, the men's club has been back in full swing. And we have been having one event every single month. We plan on doing that with the next year as well. With 4 months left in our event schedule, I wanted to tell you what's on the slate. In May, we have a Sunday brunch over at North Park Lounge. Then in June, we have a Shabbos dinner grill night. So if you wanted hot dogs, hamburgers, please definitely come on out. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Then in July, we have a trivia night over at Illusion Brewing down the street. And lastly, we have board game night here at the Temple in August. So far, we've had 3 This will be 3 Shabbos dinners or meals. We've had then 3 brunches. We've had 3 trivia nights, and then the 3 special ones where we had a big cigar smoker over at Burn in the North Shore. We had a poker night here at the synagogue. And then we also will be having our board game night as a fun extra event. So if you're interested in joining or doing things with the men's club, please keep an eye out for my emails. We started charging $36 last year, and that's been really nice. So we've been able to afford to buy everybody their first round of drinks at the events, or throw snacks down, or be able to cater a Shabbos. So yeah, it's been pretty nice. So I really hope that all of you are able to get involved. And please note that this is not religiously affiliated, it is temple affiliated. So if you are married to a non-Jewish man and they would like to join, please welcome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Seth. All right. So now we'll get to our Q&A. I extend this to the people on YouTube as well. You can type your questions into the chat. I'm following it right here. But yeah, anybody have any questions? Rob.
We spoke a lot today about membership and getting new members in. We're doing a fantastic job there. I'm interested in, once we have them, we've recruited them, how do we get them engaged into the temple?
Mhm.
So is there someone, let's say on the board, who has that as one of their core responsibilities? Or is it like everyone on the board's responsibility to get them engaged? So reaching out to people, having events that might draw people from diverse parts of the temple. What are the thoughts on that area?
So the question, thank you, Rob. So the question was, we talked about membership, recruiting new members. How do we keep members engaged? That is part of our EVP of membership's responsibility, coming up with different ideas, reaching out. It's like a lot of public outreach. It is a lot of, just keeping it interesting for people. And I can say as, outside of my position, simply as a member, I've been interested. I've wanted to come to see services on Friday nights because Rabbi Bisno and Grant keep it so lively, I think. And it's just, I don't know, for me personally, being at Friday night services is a great way to end the week. It's a way to relax in a sense. I don't know, it's a spiritual thing, I suppose. But yes, please, Jackie. Yes.
If you go to services and you see somebody you don't know, go up and introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Because the staff we do a lot of outreach to new members, existing members. But if you see somebody at an event, or if you know somebody's new, you're a religious school parent or something like that, and there's an event, try to kind of buddy up with somebody, because you know what it's like to be new somewhere and not know what's going on. So if you see somebody that kind of looks like in your demographic, that would be where you have some shared interests, if you could always kind of help out with that as well, because nothing is better than watching the services and seeing somebody you know, as opposed to sitting by yourself and feeling like people aren't friendly, it doesn't feel welcoming, and then they drop off. So just you as regular members can help with that as well.
Thanks, Jackie. So if anyone couldn't hear on YouTube, Jackie, in a nutshell, suggested putting it back on everybody here in this room. If you're here at services, if you're here in the building for an event and you see somebody you don't know, engage in conversation with them, talk to people. That's what people are here for. They're here for community. They're here for spirituality. They're here for, that's why they're here. Thank you.
And that also
Yes.
serves as a security function as well.
That too.
If you go up to somebody that you don't know, as much as you're outreaching, you're also sort of asking, who is this person? And just to, because that's all of our jobs, to make sure it's supposed to.
Thank you. Yeah. Jackie added, it's also about security. So, which is true. It's very true.
I'm a little less trusting.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else? Ellen.
I kind of mentioned this before about making sure we knew who some of the new members of the board will be.
Mhm.
Are there any other members of the board, even the old members, some of the newer members of our congregation, or even our older members of the congregation, don't know by face who the board members are?
Sure.
I know there are board members here.
Yes.
We've heard from some of the board members.
Yes.
We haven't heard from everybody. And so
Oh.
I was thrilled to know that I could not name every person in the congregation, because I have been able to in past years.
Mhm.
So I need to kind of get that feeling of comfort again.
Sure.
And know those who have been around for years and years and years,
Mhm.
and those who have just been around for months. And
Okay.
just feel a good welcoming feeling to everyone and from everyone.
Fair enough. For everyone on YouTube, Ellen was asking, aside from the board members who stood up and spoke, who else is here today? So y'all heard from Brian Klein, and Michael Brecklin, who's an incoming board member, stood up. You've heard from Audrey Kitzes, Noble Newman. I don't know if he stood up, but he waved. So there's Noble Newman. We've got Lindsay Brunswick, who you heard from. We've got Tracy Bryan. Come on, let's let it get a Vasham Wu. Hi, Tracy. We've got Greta Goldberg in the back. We've got Liz Halfhill sitting next to her, who's an incoming board member. Sitting in front of Liz, we've got Jane Siegel, who is our spiritual enrichment. Over there, we've got Cindy Harrison. Thank you, Cindy. We've got Aaron Browser, who you heard from. We've got Aaron Burton, and Aaron Bisno, 3 Aaron Bs. We had fun with that in meetings. And then you've got Seth Ringgold in the back and Elizabeth Kozlov. These are our current board members. Julia Cohen is somewhere in the building. Yeah.
I think it would be helpful if we were told like when new members join.
Yeah.
Any way that we could announce new members.
So,
Do a Friday night service and welcome new members.
yeah, I like that. So Aaron Browser just asked if we could announce new members when they join. I think this is a wonderful idea. And I think that's certainly something we can incorporate into either our weekly newsletters or into services. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. We also, just so everyone knows, our annual Sukkot Shabbat, which we lovingly call Pizza in the Hut, because we have pizza in the hut, is always a new member appreciation service as well. And we always appreciate new members, but that is our one night where we always call it out. So thank you. Arnie Begler, yes.
I don't know if this would be hard, but something may be helpful. Maybe on the website, when you list the board members, maybe you could put a photo of the board member there.
That seems like a security thing.
Yeah.
I don't, sorry, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know if that's a great idea. No, yeah. I do think that that's a bad idea. Sorry. I do not to put too fine a point on it.
So-
Historically, it was a great idea.
Yeah.
In the olden days, I would say not.
So-
Whatever, when you were president.
So it's
When,
That's because my photo would be on there.
there, yeah. When things were less sketchy as far as like internet stuff, but like based on what I've seen from my like briefings I've gotten at work, we don't want to do that.
How about just email out to the congregants?
yes,
Yeah,
that we can do.
Yeah.
Okay. So for everybody on YouTube, what the question was is Arnie Begler asked if we could put pictures of board members on the website. Hang on. Yes, that's what he asked. And Emma, who works for the Federation, suggested that it could be a security issue, which I think most people in the room see that, you know, we get it. We understand that. So there are other suggestions of maybe sending out an email. You will all be receiving an email with the new board slate. It'll have everybody's name. It'll have their bio, perhaps a photograph. And we also suggested maybe putting the photographs in the building somewhere. So that'll be discussed.
A lot of organizations now aren't even listing their board members on their website for security reasons of all sorts of organizations, not just
religious.
We could do it in the building specifically for people here. Yes, no?
We could, yeah.
I mean, I don't know the answer to this, but like, I think having an internal digital platform.
I know we've tried ShulCloud in the past and we tried other things. That might be something we could look at starting again, because I think a lot of people are living in a virtual world, 50% of their lives. So I think having a place that we could do that might be something we could look into.
Thank you. Yeah. Our membership database is still on ShulCloud, as Jackie suggested, and most families have the option to upload photos if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And again, this is a closed network, so it's not something that anybody can just log into. You need a password, and I use ShulCloud for this purpose all the time, and every time I try to log in, it sends me another security code to my phone to log in. I'd say about half. Half the room knows about ShulCloud. Well, we could certainly change that. Anybody else have any questions? Yes, Jen.
So this is related to like the budget and the hineni and fundraising.
Yes.
You're asking for large donations for operations, different than the endowment. Is there going to be any information on what the funds are going to go to, like various improvement projects?
Yes.
Basic operations.
Thank you. The question was, what is hineni going to fund? is your question, right? It's really, it's there to support our staff. Because we, as I mentioned at the beginning, the big lead was that we signed Rabbi Bisno to another 3-year contract. So between Rabbi Bisno and Grant and Jackie and Andrea and the rest of our staff, this costs money, and costs are going up while, maybe membership numbers aren't going up as much. So, I mean, they are going up, and we're sustaining them pretty well. But it's going to take a little bit extra, and that's what the campaign is for. And remember, our goal is $1 million over the next 5 years. That's the goal. It doesn't mean that we can't operate on slightly less than that, but that's the goal. So it's going to be funding salaries. It's going to be funding healthcare. It's going to be funding pensions. It's going to be funding other activities that we want to have here, other programming that we want to have here at the temple. We want this to be more than just a place, to come to for the occasional service. It's a community center of sorts. It's really the center of Jewish life in the North Hills is our goal. So that's what we are working towards. But it will be explained in more detail, and it will be sent out in an email exactly, like all the details will be in there. But thank you. Excellent question. Ellen, yes. Yes.
Are the people who are involved, apostles, for example, who are not members of the congregation, approached about it or get information about Hineni, and those who are part of Shalom Tots? So we put a lot of, the staff puts a lot of energy and money towards those programs. I think that perhaps is part of the Hineni, or are they approached also regarding the need for funds?
Well, we had a soft launch of Hineni. And so the question was, are Shalom Tots families and Tassel families going to be approached about, or have they been approached about Hineni? The answer is currently no, they have not been yet. We had the soft launch. It was soft announced at Purim Royale that we were doing this campaign. But today was the official launch of that campaign. And as we get into it, emails will be sent out. And yes, we can certainly include the Tassel and Shalom Tots families. Thank you. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Well, you said they can do.
Yes. Yes.
Just a little different
Good lawyer.
Yes. Greta.
I've not taken this role yet, but oh, I don't even like.
Yeah, you do. No, I want you to hear
I have
you
not
too.
taken this role yet, but one of the things that I currently do is I work for a software company working with customers and do things like customer mapping and customer journey mapping. So I do think of customers, probably not the right word for our congregants, but community mapping, who are parts of our community and how we make sure they feel a part of that community and engage. And part of that would be engaging with the Hineni campaign.
Thanks, Greta. Appreciate it. Anybody else? Okay, let me just check, see if anyone on YouTube had a question. I got nothing in the chat, so. All right, well, in that case, we'll go to our thank you slide. So I really appreciate everybody being here today. Meeting went slightly longer than planned, but for those of you who are not aware, today is also Mitzvah Day. So please, even if you don't have kids in the religious school, hang around and participate. There will be activities, I believe, in the social hall and out in the playground area behind the religious school. So please hang around. We've got coffee and munchkins up at a table in the front. And yeah, we appreciate you, Jackie. Yes?
I think we need to thank Sam as well. Yes. For his presidency.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks, Jackie. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. I'm going to leave you with that slideshow that we were talking about before. And again, we have the sign-up sheets for committees up here, so please feel free to sign up. And if you have any questions, I have some contact cards over there by my computer. I'm happy to hand them out. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
You should save these. Make sure they go out.
I will.
For like the holidays and like anytime we have events.
Yeah.
We should re-put these out.
Okay.
This is the thought I was having.
That's a good idea.
We have like a big group of temple congregants. We should put them out.
Okay. I like that. Oh, yeah.
I thought about it. Stop. That's okay. I was thinking about you in the email. Member at large is actually whom I was thinking of.
Really?
Yeah. I actually wanted to.
You're interested? No, Aaron. Aaron.
Aaron, we did it.
What?
Here's your member at large.
I just.
You
got it.
heard it. So I got her on my committee. Who is it?
Okay. Olivia. So she was, I apologize.
Aaron, you're your
There's still
computer.
hope for You're not going anywhere, girl. I don't want to. She is not.
There's plenty of opportunities.
Yeah.
But join the committee.
Yeah, I would start there for sure.
I'm joining Tracy's committee too.
Okay, good job.
Thanks.
Yeah, Olivia said she was.
Huh?
Olivia said
She's in?
Yes.
Nice.
I didn't.
Oh,
get the
sorry.
idea. I didn't know that was sleeping.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm sorry. I
I'm disengaged.
thought we had just
I'm
discussed.
disengaged. I gotta go travel tonight. Again.
Where you going?
Going to Tennessee tonight, and then I'm gonna be in Madison, Wisconsin. So
Okay.
it's just a lot of stuff going on. So.
Have fun. No, I appreciate your help today. No, I could have done that piece. I thought I thought we had talked about that. No, you were great. You nailed it.
Yeah.
You got the order right and
I just
everything.
got the names wrong.
That's okay. One name. Two names. Not a big deal. It was just a slight pronunciation issue.
Oh, no, I think it's exciting. A couple things, like, I didn't want to bring it up on the email, but like, I don't understand the net income.
Neither did I. That was Audrey asked me to put that in.
What's that?
Audrey asked me to put that piece in. I mean, I didn't get it either.
That number, like,
Cindy could.
what?